Alright guys, how you doing? Welcome back to another video on Talk Sooty. We're back once again to talk a little bit about football, and we're going to be talking about the brand new Premier League 2023/24 season, and we're going to be doing our predictions for this year, and I'm excited to get involved in this, and you guys in the comments let me know what your predictions are as well. However, we are going to be doing the predictions a little bit different. I know most people do 20 to first. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to be having a little twist of our own. We're going to be doing champions, top four, bottom three, overachievers, underachievers, top goal scorer, top assister, player of the season, young player of the season, and signing of the season. We're going to be giving you, well, not we, I'm going to be giving you all of them right now. Obviously, champions and top four come under the well, they come in the same section, but we'll do the bottom three as well. But people in the middle, like Burnley, sorry Burnley fans, you're not really going to get a mention, or are you? Stay tuned and you'll find out. Maybe you will. But starting off then, we'll start off with the champions and the top four. And my top four consist of 4 teams, obviously. But in fourth place, not controversial, but some people probably haven't gone this way. I'm going to go Chelsea. Yes, Chelsea in my top four. And the reason being is I just think, I know pre-season is not something to go off. And I didn't watch all the games, but I have watched a few bits and bobs here and there. And they look like they're cooking. And Poch looks like he's cooking something special. Obviously, they are still trying to sign a few players here and there. They're still looking at Caicedo. I mean, they bought Tyler Adams today, and there was rumours that they were going to nick Lavia off Liverpool. But they have just been hit with a massive injury in their new signing, Christopher Nkunku, and that could completely ruin their season. And that did make me a bit hesitant whether to swap them out for the team that I thought was going to finish fifth, which was Liverpool. I think Liverpool will just finish outside the top four, and I think Chelsea will finish in fourth spot, but I think they've got a few good players, and I think they will. Without, they're not in Europe, they've got less games to play. I think they can just concentrate on the league, and I think they'll find themselves in fourth spot. However, we are on to number 3, third position in the league, and it's Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal fans, I'm sorry, but you're in third. I know you've signed Declan Rice and Jurriën Timber. And, Kai Havertz, we're not going to speak about him because I think that's a woeful signing. But 2 top players in Timber and Rice. And you probably expect go first or second. And a lot of people have. And to be fair, I don't see why you wouldn't. They challenged all the way. I mean, 90-odd% of the season they were first. And then they just absolutely crumbled at the end. So they've got that experience. I know it wasn't the best experience, but going into this season, they could win the league. They could finish second, but for me, they're going to finish third because I think the 2 teams above them are going to be better than them this year. It's simple as that. I think it will be a 3-horse race, and I know we ask for multiple teams in the race year in, year out, but I think this time it really will be a 3-horse race, and I think first will eventually take control, but there won't be much points, I don't think, between first and third. But in second place is my team. Obviously, you can see the Cantona behind you. It's Manchester United. Yes, I believe we will finish second in the league. I think we've bought smart and we're starting to sell smart. Yeah, Manchester United selling smart. We've basically, well, actually, I was going to say we've got rid of McFred. Fred has just been announced that he's left today. Fabrizio confirmed that. McTominay, there is rumours that West Ham will go back in for him. Obviously, the City look like they might be buying Paqueta, so they'll probably come back for McTominay. So hopefully he gets sold. Maguire looks like he's been sold to West Ham as well. We've still got other players like Dean Henderson, who apparently Forest might come back in for later on in the window. But we've made great signings. We've got Højlund, I think, youth, plenty of development and experience to just gain from United and in the Premier League, and I think he will just go like that. And then you've got the class, which is Mason Mount. I know he didn't have the best of seasons last year, but I think he's perfect to come into the midfield, just completely replace Christian Eriksen. He basically does what Eriksen does, maybe not quite got the passing that Eriksen's got, but he's got the energy, he's got the legs, which will help out Casemiro. and obviously we've already got Bruno Fernandes in there with the legs as well. So I just think it's just a perfect balance of midfield. Maybe you could ask a little bit more defensively, but I really do think it is a good signing as well as Onana. I mean, he will change the team completely, and I think it will be enough to get second place for United, and we still have more incomes to come apparently with Amrabat and possibly Todibo or Pavard as well. So I think we will get second, and then obviously the treble winners, Manchester City. There's no point in really talking about these too much. They're absolutely head and shoulders above the rest. Even last season when they went through a transition, they still managed to win the league, win the FA Cup and win the Champions League and get themselves a treble. So yeah, I think most people have got them first. Obviously I've seen them out, the odd delusional Arsenal fan that think they'll do it this year. But yeah, I don't think they will. I think it'll be Manchester City first, Manchester United second, Arsenal third and Chelsea fourth. However, moving on to the bottom three, the relegated sides, who do I think they'll be? Well, I'll start in 20th. We'll start with Sheffield Wednesday. What am I on about? Sheffield United will finish 20th because they're just selling everyone. They're selling their best players, sold their best player to Marseille, and they just keep selling players, and they're not really buying enough that is going to get them out of the relegations. I think they're just coming to the fact that they will be relegated, and they're just trying to get as much money as possible through it. And well, if they're going to do that, then it's 3 points for a lot of people. Watch that get clipped when Sheffield beat United once again. And then in 19th place is Luton. I do think they'll pick up points at home. I think some teams, should I say, will struggle going away at Luton, but I think they won't get enough points. Away from home, I could see some big scores, 6s, 5s, maybe not 7s, but 5 and 6s, 4s, multiple times. And I just think they won't get enough points to get themselves out of the relegation zone. And then 18th, I'm not going to say controversial because I think a lot of people have got them in there, but it's Wolves. Obviously, yesterday, Julian Lopetegui, he left. He was saying no more, no mass. He didn't want any more of the Wolves business, and it just sounds like they've got a lot of money problems. Obviously, today, it looks like O'Neill, formerly of Bournemouth, has come in to play, but I just look at the squad. Jimenez has gone, Neves has gone, and they've just not got the quality throughout the squad, I think, that'll keep them up. And I think it's time for Wolves to go back down to the Championship. And it's unfortunate because I did like Wolves at one point, especially under not Bruno Lage, Nuno Espirito Santos. I used to like them, and then obviously he went to Spurs, and it's just been a gradual downward slope for Wolves. And I think this year they'll see themselves out of the Premier League. However, moving on from the positions in the league, we're going to go to overachievers and underachievers. And my overachievers are, well, Burnley fans, I said, stay tuned, because you're in the video now. Burnley, I think you are going to be the overachievers this year. I think that Vincent Kompany is going to be playing some beautiful football, and I think at times it might catch them out against the bigger sides. I think they might get caught out big time, and they could take some batterings, but I think overall out of the whole season, I think they'll pick up a good amount of points, and I think they'll be comfortably out of the relegation zone. Mate, I think above 15th, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if they're floating around 12th, 13th, and I think that is a great season coming out of the Championship, and I do think they'll play some nice football, and you'll see some good results for Burnley. However, when you've got an overachiever, you've got an underachiever, and today I'm going to announce to you that Liverpool are going to be my underachievers. And the reason I say they're underachieving is because I don't think they're going to get top 4. And I think for Liverpool, that is going to be an underachievement. I was thinking about Newcastle because I do think that, I've said, they're going to drop out of the top 4. And obviously last year they were in it. But I think with Champions League, the first season, they had Champions League in absolutely yonks. And yeah, well, you know what I mean? They're gradually going to go down, and I think it's just natural. But with Liverpool, they're in the Europa League this year, obviously. No one really wants to be playing Thursday, Sunday. And to be honest, I think that'll catch them out. And the midfield, they've signed Soboslai and they've signed McAllister, but they've let go of a lot of leaders, Milner, Fabinho and Henderson. But they've not really got that sitter, and I know they're trying to get Lavia, but they're just faffing around with that deal, and I don't know what they're actually doing, to be honest. They're faffing around, and it doesn't really seem like they want to commit. to that 50 million, even though they're faffing around 46, 48. I just don't get what they're doing there. And if they don't get him, I think they'll struggle against the big sides, especially away from home. I just don't think they've got the defensive capabilities in that midfield to compete. And you lose or win the games in midfield. And if you've not got someone who can put a tackle in and get themselves about, then I think you'll get run through. However, moving on to the top scorer and the top assister, I think everyone and the Nan's pet goldfish has got Haaland as the top scorer. And obviously I do, because when you get 36 goals in your debut season, I want to say the only way is up, but can he actually beat his own record? Well, we're going to find out, aren't we, over 38 games. I mean, it'd be impressive if he does, but I do think he'll probably get over 30 goals again in the league. He's just a freak of nature. Yeah, I really do think he'll be smashing it. I know Harry Kane got pretty close, to be fair, with 30 goals last year. We don't even know what he's doing. Is he going to stay at Tottenham? Is he going to go to Bayern? There's a bid. Obviously, the bid has been accepted, but it looks like he might not be going. I don't know what's going on with Harry Kane, but I do think Erling Haaland will finish top goal scorer in the league once again. However, top assister, you're thinking, well, if Haaland's going to score all the goals, then KDB's got to get all the assists. No. He'll probably get a lot of assists, but I don't think he'll get as many assists as this man with a new number 9 in front of him, Bruno Fernandes. There might be a little bit of bias in there, but I do think he'll get it now. I think now that we've got a proper number 9, and yes, he is young, 20 years old, brand new into the league, but he created the most chances in the league last year, and we didn't have a striker. We had Martial, who played one game, missed 4, and then we had Weghorst. He don't count as a striker. He's back in the Bundesliga already. No disrespect to Weghorst, he just wasn't United standard. But I think with Højlund, his movement will be key, and I think he'll get heads. I think he'll get good. He'll just be in the right place at the right time, and that is exactly what Bruno needs. And like I said, I think he'll get top assister, and I think he could have an absolute fantastic season here, Bruno Fernandes, if I'm being honest. And I have predicted United to come second, and I think he'll be a massive, massive part of it. Now, to the Player of the Season awards, Young Player and Player of the Season. And with Haaland scoring all the goals, I think once again, he'll probably get Player of the Season. City are going to win the league for me, and I think, again, he'll be the main man getting all the goals. And I think he'll probably pop up with a few more assists as well, just because you naturally develop your game. And he is he 22, 23? He's very, very young still. And yeah, I just think he is probably going to be the best player in the league next year. However, I'm not going to give him Young Player of the Season. I mean, I think he is eligible. I think he is eligible, because if you start the season 23 years old, and he will do, but I don't want to give him the same thing, and he probably will win both. I believe he won both this year. However, Young Player of the Season for me is Bukayo Saka. Yeah, he had an absolutely fantastic season last year, and again, he is eligible, and I know he seems like he's been around for ages, but he is an absolutely fantastic player. He is Arsenal's main man with Martin Odegaard, and I think he'll just add goals, add assists to his game. He just develops every year, and I just think we'll see another stellar season from that star boy Saka. And yeah, I think he'll hopefully. I think he can rightfully win that Young Player of the Season award as well. So yeah, I think that's going to be Bukayo Saka's. And then to finish off this video, we have got signing of the season. I'm not going to do flop of the season, because I don't want to put any hate onto any player. But signing of the season for me is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be Nicholas Jackson. And people are like, ooh, Nicholas Jackson. Well, you're either ooh, or you're like clicking off this video right now, dropping a dislike because I've got no ball knowledge. But I think this guy will get, I think he might get over 15 goals in the league. I think he really will be the main man for Chelsea this year. I've seen a few bits of him in pre-season. I know it is pre-season, but he looks a little bit saucy. I think this man could be signing of the season, and I think he could be the reason Chelsea get into top 4, obviously, with the disregard of Nkunku, and I think he'll step up to the plate, and I think he'll score these goals for Chelsea. And obviously, he's got a number 9 curse, but I think he will be the man to lift that Chelsea team into the top 4. But guys, that is going to be it from me today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your predictions. Even if you want to do 20 to first, or you want to do it how I've done it, let me know. But that's going to be it from me today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Smash the like button if you have done. Sooty out.